Good morning, everyone. Till now, people are joining.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the last chapter. Okay, last chapter, that is locomotion and movement. Not a very tough chapter. It is easy one, and only one class is required, I guess. We'll complete it today. Okay, so locomotion and movement. So all of you know what is locomotion, what is movement, right? Almost the same meaning, right? So what is locomotion? What is movement?
Ma'am, movement means when one part of our body moves.
What is locomotion?
Ma'am, locomotion means when a person moves from one place to another place.
Okay, which means
We move from one place to
okay,
another place.
yeah, I get it. So in other words, we can say locomotion and movement. It is related to movement of things, like whether it is you, the entire human being, or maybe your hand or your leg or anything, right? So if you move your hand, if you move your leg, then you can walk, right? And it will like move your, if you move your leg, it will move your body from one place to another, then it will be locomotion. It means movement of person from one place to another, that is locomotion. And movement means just you can lie down and move your hands and head and everything, right? So locomotion and movement, it is very essential in order to eat food. For example, in order to eat food, to do our daily activities, to like write, whatever. Okay, we this movement is very essential, very essential. And without uh, if we don't have this locomotion and movement, we will not be able to move from one place to another. We will not be able to even raise our hands, and we will not be able to do any day-to-day activities that we used to do. Okay, bathing on everything, we won't be able to do anything. Okay, our needs, we won't be able to fulfill our needs. Okay, so this locomotion and movement, it is very essential. Both are almost the same, but locomotion is, as one of you said, it is the movement of a complete individual from one place to another. And movement, it is just, if you raise your hands, if you raise your hand, and if you like move your hand, that is movement. Hand, maybe your head. Okay, so that movement of your body, I'm not talking about locomotion, I'm talking about movement. So the movement of your body is due to muscle contraction. Okay, if your muscles will not contract, for example, if you are moving your hand, and if your muscles will not contract, you will not be able to move your hand. Okay, muscle contraction is very essential. First of one thing more, joints are needed. Okay, we will talk about joints. We will talk about joints later. In this chapter only we have joints, about joints. But joints are essential, okay, for movement. And then muscle contraction. Contraction, all of you know, contraction and relaxation. We talked about contraction while discussing many other chapters. Okay, so the contraction, all of you know. So muscles need to contract. Okay, so muscles need to contract in order to like move. Okay, and that theory of muscle contraction, that is known as sliding filament theory. Okay, theory of muscle contraction, it is known as sliding filament theory. Okay. People are waiting in the lobby. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, that is known as the sliding filament theory. Okay, the like process of muscle contraction. The muscle contracts and then we can move, right? The muscle contracts and then we can move. That is known as the muscle contraction. Okay, there are two types of proteins. Okay, let me zoom it a little bit. You can see this diagram. Okay, these are contractile proteins, actin and myosin. Contractile proteins means what? They help in contraction. Okay, contraction of the muscle. They help in muscle contraction. Okay, that is why they are known as contractile proteins. So whenever it is asked to write what are name some contractile proteins, then you can write actin and myosin. Okay, so these proteins, they help in contraction. Okay, therefore they are known as actin. Therefore they are known as contractile proteins, and they are actin and myosin. Okay, this is the structure of actin and this is myosin. So this troponin and tropomyosin, these are also proteins. Okay, troponin is a protein, tropomyosin is a protein. So these are present on this actin. So this long band, you can see here, long band, this is the tropomyosin, and this small beads. So these beads are troponin, and this is the actin filament, F-actin, actin filament. Okay, this one. And then this is the myosin. This is the structure of myosin. Okay, so it is like these are two myosin filaments. No, they are like attached to one another like this. Okay, this is the structure of myosin. This is actin. Okay. So what happens when muscle contraction like take place? I have already asked people to enter whenever I ask to join the class, you should at least join within 5 minutes. No, till now people are joining. Kamruj. Till now, it's like I have started the class like 15 minutes back. My attention gets divided, no, if I go for again adding people. Okay, so this is actin. This is actin filament, you can say. This is the actin filament, and this is myosin. Okay, these are two contractile proteins. Contractile protein means they help in contraction. Okay, and what happens when muscle contracts? Like means for muscle contraction to take place, what happens? This head here, you can see the actin head. Sorry, myosin head. This is the myosin head. Okay, this portion you can see head. Okay, so here this is the myosin head, and you can see there are actin binding sites. This dark color ones. Okay, so there are actin binding sites on the myosin head. Okay, and then this actin will come and bind to this site. Bind means it will come and join. Okay, this actin will come and join to the myosin head, and then what will happen? They will break down ATP. There are ATP binding sites also here. Okay, when this actin will come and bind to the myosin, the ATP will break down and it will give energy. Okay, ATP will break down and it will form energy. It will give energy, and then they will slide through one another, and then they will move. Okay, they will slide. That is why it is known as sliding filament theory. Actually, this is a very complicated process, and it is a very long process, and in order to discuss everything, you need to first study about cytoskeleton. Okay, about cytoskeleton, there are filaments. Okay, intermediate filaments, there are other microfilaments and others. Okay, there are three filaments. There are cytoskeleton. So all those we have to discuss, but that much is not essential because that is required only for the master's people, okay, master students. So we will not go into that much depth, but actually this muscle contraction, theory of muscle contraction, it is a very complicated process. Okay, it is a very complicated process and it is very... Yes, you want to say something?
ম্যাম মানে আমার ক্লাস আছে সেকশন বি
তোমালোকে কৈছে ক্লাছ নাই চোন এতিয়া মই সুধোতে
বেলেগে কৈছে কিন্তু এলি মেমৰ ক্লাস আছে এতিয়া
ক্লাছ আছে so you can leave. If you have class, you can leave. I asked you people,
Okay.
you said you know you don't have class. Okay, so this is the actin and this is myosin. So this actin, they will join to the myosin head and they will break down the ATP. Okay, and in turn they will release energy and that energy will help to move this proteins. Okay, they will slide, these two proteins will slide and they will move. Okay, and that is why it is known as sliding filament theory, because these two proteins, they will slide. Okay, slide means it will move. Okay, slide means it will, like, they will join. No, these are now separate, but when this will come and join here, so it will become joined and then they will slide with one another and they will move. Okay, so that is known as sliding filament theory and that is how muscle contraction works. Okay, this is the definition for, this one is the definition for sliding filament theory. I'll give you the this one PDF file. So this is how muscle contraction works. Just a brief. Okay, actually this is a complete different, not different, it is a complete new chapter if we start to discuss about muscle contraction. Okay, so this is about muscle contraction and this is how it works and that is why it is known as sliding filament theory, because this actin and myosin, when they joins and they break down ATP, it forms energy and that energy helps this two proteins to slide with each other. Okay, they slide and they move, like that. Okay, next is skeletal system. Skeletal system, all of you know, skeleton. Okay, skeletal system is nothing but the skeleton. Whenever you in your school and colleges, if you did your high secondary in college, so you might have seen a skeleton. In almost all schools and colleges there is like a figure of skeleton. Okay, skeleton is kept in the labs. So if you have seen a skeleton, also if you have not seen in real, you can go to the Google and search for a skeleton. Then you will see whatever those bone structures, everything you can see from the head, from the skull, not head actually, the skull to your legs, the bones, everything that comprises of the skeletal system. Okay, so that is known as the skeletal system. And this skeletal systems, they have bones. Okay, they comprise of bones and cartilage. So I think I have discussed about cartilage with
मैम
yes.
मैम ये जो एसिटिन और मायोसिन है मैम, ये
Actin.
एक्चुअली
Actin.
हाँ एक्टिन और मायोसिन ये लोकेट कहाँ पे होता है, बोन्स में और मसल्स में?
Muscles. They are found in the muscles, not bones. Muscles. Contractile proteins, they are in the muscles. They help in muscle contraction, not in the bones. So this skeletal system, they comprise of bones and cartilage. I discussed about cartilage while discussing about body fluids, I guess, circulatory system, no? So what is cartilage? Cartilage are something that is softer than the bones, that white thing, that is the position of the cartilage is they are present in between the bones, like in between the you can say legs, in between that knee portion there will be cartilage. In your ear there will be cartilage. Okay, so those portions there are cartilages. So the skeletal system, it comprises of all the bones and then there are a few cartilage. Okay. So in total there are, in human beings there are a total of 206 bones. Okay, a lot of this are written, but just focus on what I say. Okay, no need to like study each and everything line by line. Okay, so this in human beings, so this is just class 1 to 3 have got it. So there are 206 bones in human beings. Okay, a total of 206 bones, and there are a few cartilages, like in between the bones there are cartilage and ears and stuff like that, there are a few cartilages. Okay, and this bones and cartilages, they are known as connective tissue. While discussing I don't think I have taught you. Did I teach any chapter on animal tissues? Was there any chapter on animal tissues? I take for class for several students. No, I'm just confused. Okay, anyways, so there are different types of tissues. Okay, muscular tissues is there, connective tissue is there, the nervous tissue is there. Okay, so this bone and cartilage, they are connective tissue, and blood is also a connective tissue. Blood is a liquid connective tissue. Okay, connective tissue because they connects, you can say, and they have a matrix. Okay, they have a matrix, and this what to say, blood, you can say blood is a liquid connective tissue. Why is liquid connective tissue? Because since it is liquid, and this bones and cartilage, they are also form of connective tissues only. They are also connective tissues. Okay, bones and cartilages. So there are 206 bones in our body, and cartilages, there are a few cartilages. Okay, and the skeletal system, it is divided into axial and appendicular skeleton. Okay, skeletal system, it is divided into two types. One is axial skeleton, one is appendicular skeleton. Okay, and skull, all of you know the head region. Okay, head region without all those muscles and skin and everything, that just the bone part of the head region, that is known as the skull. So that skull, the vertebral column, the sternum, ribs, means your like hands, and what to say, that sternum in the case of birds, you have, I guess it is very easy to locate, but for human beings, you have not seen a human being wide open. But for birds, if in the breast region, so that triangular shaped bone, that is known as the sternum. Okay, then ribs, all of you know there are ribs. So all those the vertebral columns in your body, so everything, those things, they comprise of the axial skeleton. Okay, skull, vertebral column, sternum, and ribs, they constitute the axial skeleton. Okay, and the appendicular skeleton, they will comprise of the bones of the like limbs and legs. Limbs means legs and hands. Okay, hands and legs, the bones of the hands and legs. And the girdles, there are two types of girdle, that is pelvic girdle and pectoral girdle. Okay, pelvic girdle and pectoral girdle. So pelvic region, all of you know, that stomach, below the stomach, that region. So that region, bones of, yes.
Ma'am, what is girdles?
Yes, that is what I am talking about. No, there are two types of girdles. Girdles means those are bones only. Okay, those are bones. They are the name of bones. Like skull is the name of the bone. No, that is in the head. And girdle, they are also the name of the bones. There are two types of girdles. One is pectoral and one is pelvic, and it is present on your, like below the stomach, that region. No, hip region. In that region, the bones are known as pelvic girdle, and one is pectoral girdle. Okay, one is pelvic girdle, pelvis, you know the pelvis, below the stomach, that region is known as pelvic region. So that bones, that is known as pelvic girdle. One is pelvic girdle, and behind that is known as pectoral girdle. Okay, that bones and your bones of the limbs, means your hands and legs, all those bones, they will comprise of the appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton is skull, ribs, vertebral column, sternum, all those. Okay, and appendicular skeleton is the bones of hands, legs, and those girdles. Okay, that is two types of girdles are there. I think I have written it somewhere. Yes. This, see, it is the pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Two types of girdles are there, pectoral and pelvic. So these are the what to say, quantity of the bones, number of bones present in each phase, that is written. Okay, that you have to remember. Axial skeleton, it comprises of total of 80 bones. Okay, and in total, in the entire human being, there are 206 bones, right? And they are again divided into two types, that is axial and appendicular. Now the axial skeleton, they will have 80 bones. Okay, and so cranial and facial, all of you know the skull is divided into cranial and facial. Cranial is the head portion, facial is the face portion. Okay, there are bones in the face also. No, nose has bones. The face, everything in the face, they have bones. So those bones that are present in the face region, that is known as facial, and those bones that are present in the head region, they are known as cranial. Okay, so the cranial and facial, they will comprise of total of 22 bones. Okay, 22 bones. So cranial, there are 8, and facial, there are 14, total of 22. So all this, just read it up and you can remember, try to remember it. Okay, but for now, just remember that the skeletal system, it is divided into axial and appendicular. So axial system, axial skeleton, it comprises of skull, okay, vertebral columns, and the ribs, then sternum, and the appendicular skeleton, they comprise of the limbs, bones of the limbs, that is hands and legs, and then the girdles, pectoral and pelvic girdle. Okay, now comes the joints. Okay. So joints are nothing but, you know joints, right? Joints are nothing but they are the point of contact between bones. Okay, between bones, or between bones and cartilage. Like you can say in between your, like knee bone, there are two bones and there is a joint in between the bones. No, then in your ear, there is also a joint in the ear, but it is a joint between bone and cartilage. Ear is made of cartilage, and then there is the skull bone. No, so that is there. So they are point of contact. Joints are nothing but point of contact. Point of contact means they are like the joining points between bones and bones, between bones and bones, or between bones and cartilage. Okay, so this is the definition for joints. So there are three types of joints. One is fibrous joint, one is cartilaginous joint, and one is synovial joint. Okay, fibrous joint, cartilaginous joint, and synovial joint. So all these three types of joints, they are different from one another. Okay, this is a little bit important. So all these three types of joints, they are different from one another. How? First of all, fibrous joints, normally joints are made for movement, right? Joints, they serve the purpose of movement. Like without, just imagine your leg without your knee joint. Imagine your leg without that knee joint. How will it look? Just forget the looking part. How will you walk? No. So without that joint, you will not be able to move. But this fibrous joint, they do not allow movement. Okay, fibrous joints, they do not allow movement, and they are generally found in the skull bones. Okay, in the skull, you cannot move the skull, right? But there are joints in the skull also. There are joints. There are joints in the skull. You can only move your joint that is in the mouth portion. No, you can move that one, but also that is limited. Okay, and only that thing you can join, that thing you can move. That is not a fibrous joint because you can move it. No, but the fibrous joint, this type of joint, it does not allow any movement. Okay, you don't have control over that joint. You cannot move it with your own will. Okay, that type of joint that cannot be moved. Okay, and they are generally found in the skull. Those type of joints, fibrous joints, they are generally found in the skull. So if you are asked what type of joints are generally found in the skull bones, so you have to write fibrous joints. Okay, now there is cartilaginous joints. So these cartilaginous joints, they allow movement, but they allow limited movement. Okay, they allow limited movement. They do not allow that much of movement. They allow just limited movement. So in the vertebral column means, do you know the vertebral column? This is very nursery stuff. Okay, do you know the vertebral column? Vertebra. Don't know. In your back, that spinal cord, that that bones in the spinal cord, in the spine, that bone in the spine, surrounding the spine, from your neck region to your hip region, there is a bone, no? So that is the vertebral column. Spine. Vertebral column, it is also known as the spinal column. Okay, why it is known as spinal column? Because it protects the spinal cord. Spinal cord, no? If you get any if any injury happens to the vertebral column, what happens? People will not be able to sit upright. Okay, sit straight, and it is very dangerous. And operations to the vertebral column, it is very dangerous. Like doctors, they don't want to generally do this kind of operations because and person needs to be very healthy, and any complications during the operation may lead to the person taking bed for entire life. Okay, that is the vertebral column. So that vertebral column, you can also move that vertebral column little bit, but it allows little bit movement. Not that much of movement is not allowed. Okay, because you can see, just when you sit to the front, you can move a little bit to the backwards, right? Not only your head but also your body. A little bit movement is permitted, but not entire. Means not like your hands and legs. Okay, hands and legs, those you can move like freely everywhere. No, but your whole body, that is not, means you have little bit control, but then you cannot move it entirely. Okay, to all the sides and entirely. It's not so flexible, but it is a little bit, means it allows a little bit movement. Okay, those type of bones are cartilaginous joints, and they are generally found in the vertebra or the vertebral column. Okay, and then third type of joint is the synovial joint. These are all the joints that like the knee joint, your joints that are in between your hands. Okay, so all these joints, they are known as synovial joints, and these type of joints, they allow full movement. Okay, they allow full movement. And one thing particular is that these joints, they are filled with fluid. Okay, that I'll explain a little bit. So in between the like in the knee, in between the thigh bone and the leg bone, no, so in the knee there is a fluid filled cavity. Okay, fluid filled cavity, that is known as synovial cavity. Okay, there is fluid in the knee. Okay, so that is why it can like allow that much of movement. Okay, so much movement is like permitted. Okay, you can move it, like entire thing you can move it. No, you cannot move it backwards, but then you can move it almost as much is needed, you can move it. So that type of joints are synovial joints. And this fluid, no, some people, they suffer from leg pain, aches. Okay, their knee aches so much. So what happens for those people? The fluid content in the synovial cavity, it rises. The fluid content, it rises, and then you have to take go for operations. They will take needles and they will take out the fluid. Okay, that is a condition that occurs because of the fluid accumulation in your knee cavity. Okay, but that is out of topic. But the synovial joints, they allow full movement, and what to say, they are present in the knee joint, knee, and not in the knee, like in your legs, that knee joint, and in your hands. So all those joints that allow full movement, those are synovial joints. Okay, and in the synovial joints, there is a synovial cavity. Okay, synovial cavity that is filled with fluid. So there are three types of joints: fibrous joint, cartilaginous joint, and synovial joint. Fibrous joint do not allow movement. Cartilaginous joint allow a little bit movement, and synovial joint, they allow full movement. Okay. Now comes the disorders of skeletal and muscular system. So disorders, disorders means diseases, as in most of the chapters. At the end of the chapter, there are disorders related to these systems. Like while discussing digestive system, there were disorders of digestive system. While discussing respiratory system, there are disorders of respiratory system also, asthma and emphysema, right? So here also regarding muscular and skeletal system, there are disorders, that means diseases. So these are the 6 diseases that are associated with the skeletal and muscular system. One is myasthenia gravis and muscular dystrophy, tetany, arthritis, osteoporosis, and gout. Okay, so myasthenia gravis, this is an autoimmune disorder. What is autoimmune disorder? It is related to the immunity. Okay, immune system, all of you know, it is related to the immune system. Immune system is infected means you will get several other diseases. Okay, when the immune system it gets infected, you will get several other diseases. So this myasthenia gravis, this disease is related to the the immune system and the neural system. Okay, that is known as neuromuscular junction, means the neural system, neurons and muscles. So this you just need to remember that myasthenia gravis, it is an autoimmune disorder. It is related to the immune system, and symptoms are fatigue. Fatigue means, all of you know, fatigue. I cannot explain fatigue. Okay, fatigue, all of you know fatigue. So you get so much tired and you like feel like falling down. That is too much tired and weak and tired. That is fatigue. Okay, then weakening of your body, and sometimes paralysis. Okay, those are the symptoms. And myasthenia gravis, it is an autoimmune disorder. Then there is muscular dystrophy. This is generally genetic disorder. Genetic means it comes like from your maybe your parents, your grandparents, maybe. It is hereditary, no? It is in the genes. Okay, if you have that disease, maybe there are chances of getting into your offspring, your child, maybe your grandchild or whatever. So that this muscular dystrophy, it is a genetic disorder. And what happens in this type of disease? The skeletal muscles, they degenerate. What is degeneration? They will lose its structure. Degeneration will take place. They will lose its structure, and you will become all skinny and all. Okay, the muscles, everything. This muscles means the skeletal muscles. It will degenerate, and you will not be like healthy. Okay, and your bones and everything, they will sort of break in. Even if you fall from a small height, your bones and everything tend to break and stuff like that. Okay, so this is genetic. This is not something that you can attain out of nowhere. Okay, this is genetic. Genetic means it is in the genes. Then there is tetany. This tetany, it is because of there is calcium ion in your body. All of you know there is calcium ion, potassium ion in your body. No, so whenever the calcium ion concentration is low, calcium ion, all of you know, it is required for the bones. No, calcium is required for the bones. Actually, all the bones, they are made up of calcium only. The bones, they are made up of calcium, and if there is low calcium in your body, then you will have pains all around your body. Pain will be there. Pains means there are spasms. Pains and spasms, they are a little bit different. Okay, spasm, sometimes what to say? Sudden pains. They are like sudden your muscle, they will contract and you will get pain for some time. It will not exist for like longer periods, but that pain will be fierce. Okay, that is because of the low concentration of calcium ion. Calcium ion in your body, its concentration is low. When its concentration is low, you will get that pain. That type of disease is tetany. Okay, then there is arthritis. Arthritis is there. Arthritis is, all of you know, joint pains and stuff. It is very common. Okay, joints, they will bulge, inflammation will occur, and then joints will pain. Every joint, each and every joint in your body, it is very painful. Okay, then there is osteoporosis, generally seen in aged women. Okay, during menopause, when women, they suffer from menopause. Okay, what is menopause? When menstrual cycle, they stops at around 50-60 women in grown up women, the menstrual cycle, they stop, and it is known as menopause. In generally menopausal women, this osteoporosis is seen. What happens here also? The calcium ion, the calcium ion concentration, it becomes less. Okay, and then the bones, they become weak. The bone will become weak, and when you will fall, the bones, it will break. Okay, bones, they become very, very soft. Okay, normally the bones, the structure of the bones, they will become soft. Okay, and not only calcium ion, it also depends on the estrogen. And whenever the menstrual cycle, it is not there every month, then estrogen level will automatically become lower estrogen level, and in this will be related with the calcium ion concentration. Okay, calcium is required for bone structure and everything. Okay, then there is GOT. GOT is uric acid crystals are accumulated in your joints. Okay, this is also a very serious disease. This is not curable. This disease is not cured. Okay, when uric acid crystals, they accumulate in the joints. Okay, and then this is also a painful disease, and it will pain all the joints and everything. It will pain. That is known as GOT. These are the 6 diseases. Now the class will end automatically. Okay. So any doubts from this chapter, you look forward and you ask me next class. Okay, because now this meeting, it will end automatically. Okay, you can give your attendance. everyone? And any doubts, just go through and let me know. Your syllabus is done. Okay, syllabus is done.
মেম আমালোকৰ এক্সাম কেতিয়া হ'ব?
তোমালোকৰ এক্সাম কেতিয়া হ'ব নাজানো দেই। I'm not sure. You will get notification. If you have not given your attendance, please give it. And in case of just go through all the chapters. Okay, all the chapters. From there are like 7 or 8 chapters. I am not sure. So go through all the chapters. Any sort of doubts, please ask me, or you can tell your CR, or he or she can inform me, and I'll take class. Otherwise, I will not take regular class. Okay, you can give me attendance. I'll give the attendance, and I'll give all videos. Also, I will share the if you have missed any class, I will share the class video, that channel, no, where I am uploading videos. So that channel link I will share. So you can go through all the videos again. And in case of any classes you have missed, you can go through that. Okay, and go through all the chapters. Any doubts, you can also text me personally. Also, you can in the group also you can say any doubts or anything. If you, and I'll again send the notes to all the chapters. Okay, I will send the notes again to all the chapters. This one also I'll send, and also other chapters also together. I will send all the notes if anyone has misplaced their notes. Okay. I think 1 or 2 minutes left. Anyone doubts, you can ask. Like 1 or 2 minutes left, I think. Doubts from this chapter? Any doubts? I hope everyone has given their attendance, no? Any doubts from this chapter, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave.